What's that?
I said y'all are trespassing.
Trespassing?
Signs on these pillars.
Little bit different video today. Normally, every Tuesday, I give y'all a good fishing video. So in this video, I didn't really catch much of nothing. We caught some pinfish and we caught some whiting, things like that. We got out to our favorite spot to fish in Panama City in the Back Bay. You know, the big walkway that looks kind of dangerous, but it's really not that bad. I've caught some giant black drum out of there before, and I'll probably put a few clips in here just so you can see what I'm talking about. We decided to go down to Panama City so we could try to do some fishing. I wanted to get some black drum, start the year off right with big fish and all that kind of stuff, and just get out because we have been stuck in the house from all the rain, the snow, the cold weather, wind. It's been crazy. I mean, I just finally caught my first fish of 2025 like maybe a week or so ago. So we wanted to get out, we wanted to go fish, and we got hit with this scenario. So I'm going to let you watch the clip, and then we're going to talk about it for a little bit after. So here pretty much is what happens. What's that?
I said y'all are trespassing.
Trespassing?
Signs on these pillars that say no trespassing, but we're part of the transportation. You get on these concrete pillars and this beam right here, you're subject to arrest.
Really?
Yes, sir. They told us to start aggressively patrolling because they've had kids get on there and fall off. They want us to start enforcing that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That sucks. We've been fishing here my whole life. Well, that sucks. And we lose another spot to fish, making it where it's not worth coming down here no more. Okay, so let me start off by saying I understand, okay? I'm not mad at the officer. I'm not mad in like that regard or that whatever, that scenario. I get that he has to do his job and tell us to leave. I did not realize that there was a no trespassing sign up now. So just to give you all a little bit of a backstory, I have been fishing that spot in Florida since I was 8 years old. So you're talking about 30 years now. How crazy is that, right? I have been fishing back there. We've been catching giant fish my whole entire life. It is my favorite place to fish in Panama City. Whew, I can feel it now. I'm getting kind of irritated just thinking about this and talking about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm usually a pretty nice guy on my channel. I try not to cuss or any of that kind of stuff because I want it to be family friendly. I want y'all to be able to watch my videos and not have to worry about, you know, vulgar language all the time. And, you know, I'm not really an angry person. I try to be nice, but this gets me heated. And I will say, even though I know that there's a no trespassing sign, I probably still would have fished because I have been fishing that spot my entire life. Does that make it right? No. No, it doesn't make it right, and I get that. But here's the thing. So when I was young, we went down as a family The game wardens and the police down there and the locals told us about this spot. I have met officers up there multiple times over the years and have had good reactions constantly. And I get it. I can already hear people complaining in my comments that, hey, times change and laws change. I get that. I still don't like it. I don't, it is what it is. I don't care. It makes me mad because we're running out of local spots, public spots that you can fish. Everywhere I go, it's just constantly more and more public places being taken away. And so, eventually you have to have a boat to go fish. And yes, I have a kayak. I can get out there, but not everybody can afford a $4,000 kayak or a boat or any of that kind of stuff. They fish from land. My channel was built on that back. It's our old channel before I started this one was mostly bank fishing. And we're losing more access, just more and more as time goes on. So yeah, I get laws change, but still it's hurting us in other ways. And yeah, this is a rant and I'm complaining, but it is what it is. So the officer, I could tell he was kind of annoyed. At least he was nice enough not to arrest us. I don't know if it's because I had the camera recording or if he was just a nice guy. But his thing was the city was saying that people fell off of that walkway, and so now they want to shut it down. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. There's been people jumping on and off of that thing my entire life. Like I said, the game wardens and the police officers that we've met out there have told us about this place. It was always a great place to fish. Now, in the past, there was trespassing signs up on it. But there was an old bridge, by the way, too. This is completely different. It's been completely rebuilt. It was a much smaller bridge. It was older. And yes, it said no trespassing, but it wasn't really towards people fishing and hanging out and getting photos. It was more along the lines of the people who were trying to go up and down. There was a ladder that you could go up and it would take you up to the top of the freeway. They didn't want you going up and down on that stuff because you could fall and land on the concrete block. And I get that, but for the fishing and stuff, even if you did fall off of it, you're landing in water. There's nothing down there to hurt you. You're not banging your head if you fell off the backside, yeah, sure, it'll probably hurt you. There's barnacles and stuff on the backside, but there's railing there. I think what happened, and I don't have proof of it, from what I could see, while we were up there, I saw two people on bicycles. They're like cyclists. They came up and they stopped and they were watching us for a while. Not saying a word. They were on their phone. We don't know what was happening. It just looked like two people come up and were just watching us. And, and I look around and I watch this stuff, and if I notice I'm being watched for a while, I'll kind of pay attention to it just because it makes me nervous. It's just how I am. Well, then a police officer about 10 minutes later shows up. He goes over to them, talks to them for about 5 minutes, and then comes over to us and tells us we have to leave. We're trespassing. They can arrest us. Then after, he went back, talked to them again, and they all three left. So I think those two people on the cycle called. There's a new subdivision being built that's right there. They're getting it ready for new housing. It looks like higher end housing. So I think they pulled a Karen and called the police on us because they didn't want us down there. It wouldn't surprise me. I've had people do that before in other places that they thought they owned. The only difference is this place now has the no trespassing sign. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I did not see it. I have been fishing that spot for so long that I just know, go there, get up there. I'm excited. When I'm excited, everything's tunnel vision anyway for me. Get up there, get to fishing. I never once registered that sign. When I went back and looked after because I wanted to know what the heck he was talking about, I swear that thing was right there in my face the whole time. I don't know how I missed it. However, I would have probably fished it anyway. I was not about to give up a spot that I have grown up fishing. The rod holders that are up there are the rod holders that I put on there 20 years ago, and people have still been just zip tying and taping them back in place to keep them from falling down. Like, I started that years ago. So after he left, he wanted us to leave the area completely. Like, he was standing up by his car watching us, and at first I was just going to pack up and leave, but then my pops, he was like, well, we drove 4 hours to come down here to fish. This is the only spot we have time to go to. There's that little sandy beach beside it. Let's just fish this because it is public. Yeah, so we set up down there, but the problem is it's almost impossible to pull a good fish out of the structure from that direction. That's why we fish straight up and down on it, because it's easier to get those black drum out. They're in the channel, and you try to keep them away. If you're throwing into the structure like that, 90% of the time you get cut off. And it's very rare that we pull something out towards the beach. And it's shallow. It's super shallow, so you get less opportunities at big fish. So I hate fishing it from the sand. That's why, as a kid, we moved from fishing the sand to up to the walkway and the concrete. So that's it. They took away our spot. I don't really know what to do over there now. I mean, obviously I could go fish from the kayak and they can't say a dang thing to me, and I'm going to. I am very much going to, and I very much want somebody to come say something to me, because I am mad. But at the same time, I understand it is a law. You know what I mean? I'm not into breaking laws and stuff, but it gets frustrating. And I try to explain it, Pete, to people here in my own town, as our own town changes the laws on the river constantly. Yeah, it's for public safety. I can't stand hearing that. It's for safety. It's for safety. That's the same phrase they use every time they take more and more away. It's for public safety. Some of it may be. I don't believe all of it is. That's just me personally. You can let me know down in the comments if I'm an idiot. I probably am. I don't care. I'm mad about this situation. I'm going to have to go fish it. And see, here's the thing. This is one reason why I get angry about it. It is a family thing. This channel is a family channel. I do the fishing, editing, all that stuff. But my pops, he goes with me. My sister goes with me sometimes. My wife goes with me. It's always a family affair. We go and do whatever we like to do. We'll fish. We'll hang out. Well, when we go to these spots, if I'm out in the kayak fishing, which I can be, and I do sometimes because I love kayak fishing, that's another thing this channel was built on. I get into the fish, and I catch a lot of fish, but they don't catch as many because they're fishing from the bank. If they cater to me constantly going to a spot that's good for me to kayak fish, they're not catching fish. And I want them to be able to catch fish. Even though I want this channel to grow and I want to get monetized and all that good stuff so that I can pay bills and make this a lifetime thing, I don't want it to hinder their fun and the fishing they get to do. So that's really where the anger comes from. Like, we lost our spot on the beach that we used to shark fish because they put a new high-rise there. That high-rise built a walkway with stairs. You can't take a cart down, and they don't want you fishing in front of them. They own that part of the beach now. Then now this has happened over there. We can't fish off that walkway anymore. I'm going to have to use a kayak to get to it. It's just one thing after another, and it's starting to get harder and harder to find good places in Panama City or Florida in general, just Florida in general, without some kind of weird law or something like that blocking you for no reason whatsoever. That's why I was very critical of the shark laws that they put in, because they're very easy to abuse, and some of their stuff is still very gray to this day. You don't have to pay for a shark tag, but still, it doesn't really stop a lot of like that gray area. A lot of times I'll use a long leader for redfish because sometimes sharks will bite off stuff, and you don't. But I'm not shark fishing, and this is just a hypothetical. Like, it's just me putting out an example. If a game warden came by and saw that you had a big hook on there, he could just say, you're shark fishing. Here's a ticket. You don't have a shark license. And it's just stuff like that that keeps happening. And it's not just Florida. Like I said, it's here in my own town. It's everywhere. They're doing one now. I think here in my state of Georgia, waterways that used to be public waterways, the bottom of the river can now be owned by people and companies. And it will be trespassing for you to float over that section. That's going on right now. So it's getting to where you can't even go down your own, like, waterways. So I don't know. It's got me mad. What do you think about the situation? Leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of in a pissy mood right now over this just because it was my favorite place. And it's kind of like I'm losing a part of the family because that was like such an important part, such an important place for us to fish as a family. It was easy to access, Anyway, it's annoying. So anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. That is the video for tonight. Very different than what you normally get on here, but it is what it is. I'm running out of footage. I have some catfishing footage coming up. You'll see that in another week or two. I've got more reviews on tackle and stuff coming up. So anyway, I will catch y'all back out on the water. Peace.